Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating, to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health-conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host. Think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery, so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Healthy Her podcast. I am sitting here recording this, and we are just in the start of February. And before I jump into today's topic, I really want to just remind you that you can achieve any of the goals that you want at any time of the year. So if you had started January and had all of these amazing intentions of how you were going to show up for yourself, you were going to exercise, you were going to eat healthy, you were going to make yourself and your wellness a priority, and January has passed and the month just hasn't turned out the way that you planned, please don't wait. That is the biggest life lesson I learnt in the last couple of years and that I can share with you is don't wait. There's never a better time to pick up and keep going again. So if your January hasn't worked out the way that you planned, just pick up and keep going again, because honestly, that is the secret to success. You know, life throws us stuff all the time. We have good intentions and often they just don't go to plan. So it is never too late to pick up and start again and make your health and wellness a priority. Please don't beat yourself up if the start of 2025 hasn't been exactly what you wanted it to be, because there are so many amazing months left in the year where you can achieve all of the things that you want to achieve. Okay, let's jump into today's topic for the podcast. And it is, how many calories do I need to eat to lose weight? Now, this episode may be a little bit controversial. It may bring up some mixed opinions and some mixed views, because it is something that is talked about a lot. It is something that comes with many misconceptions, mixed feelings around calories and calorie deficits and how many calories I should be eating for weight loss. So I literally have no notes here. I am just freeing this today because I really want to open up this topic about how many calories you need to eat for weight loss. So no notes, not scripted, nothing here to support me. I just really want to open up to you about this whole process of working out your calories and what you need for weight loss, because I truly believe as women that we way overcomplicate it. And I also believe that the health and wellness, and also in particular the personal training space, has overcomplicated this with regards to things like calorie deficits, with regards to eating in a surplus, in regards to eating to your maintenance. And you can actually really easily find those things as a woman without needing to do all these super overcomplicated and like constant calculations all the time. So there definitely is an easier way to do it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about today is this. If you have tried multiple diets and failed, there is a reason for it. It is most likely that you are not in a calorie deficit. Now, this is a hard lesson that I had to learn over and over and over again. And what we do as women is, instead of working out our calorie deficit correctly and doing it the right way, we go about creating a calorie deficit by doing things like eating less, cutting out food groups like bread or carbs or sugar. We skip meals. We try and eat sort of smaller portions of food. We try and skip, say, like breakfast and things like that. So instead of actually doing the thing that will get us to the weight loss success that we want, which is working at our calorie deficit, which is working at how many calories we need to eat to lose weight, we go about it in all these other weird and wonderful ways. And I'm not quite sure how we got to this point as women, like how we got this so wrong, because we're really smart creatures. There's this scientific method of this is how you lose weight, this is how you do it, to let's do challenges, let's skip meals, let's do keto, let's fast ourselves for hours, let's cut out whole food groups and things like that. Let's restrict our food. Like, I wish I had the answer for you, but I just don't quite understand how we went from there is this method that actually works and that will actually get you the results that you want to doing all these crazy things. And then what happens? We just fail. So we try cutting out carbs and that doesn't work. So we fail. And then we beat ourselves up and we feel really bad. And then we sit on it for a while and then we go, okay, well, all right, I'm ready. I'll try something again. And so then we try and do the next thing towards creating the calorie deficit. And we go, okay, well, I'll just eat less and skip meals. And we try that. And that fails. And then we beat ourselves up. And can you see how you just get stuck in this constant cycle of trying all of these random things in order to work out how many calories you need to lose weight, when there's actually a scientific method and a proven method that works that will get you your results. Okay, so I just really want to stress from this episode that you must have a calorie deficit in order to lose weight. It's science. If that thing that you're trying is not putting your body in a calorie deficit, you will not lose fat. It's just the way that it works. So that's why it's really, really important to switch your focus from trying all of the things that other people are trying. And like I said, the challenges, the 75 hard. And this is the thing, like, please don't get me wrong. Like, I do believe that those things can have some benefits. Like lots of people will do say something like 75 hard and it teaches them to drink more water and to exercise regularly and to build some sort of healthy habits into their daily life. I definitely believe that those things have a place and can help create those and build those healthy daily habits. But same thing, you can sign up for 75 hard. And if you haven't worked out your calorie deficit and how many calories you need for weight loss, not much is going to change. Like I said, you're going to drink some more water. You might feel a bit lighter. You might feel a bit more energetic from the exercise and things like that. But if you get to the end of that and you're like, wow, I feel really tired. And yes, I can notice some changes, but I haven't really noticed that much difference. That's because you're not in a calorie deficit. And I truly wish from the bottom of my heart, wish that someone, so this is this, girlfriend to girlfriend conversation that I'm having with you now. I truly wish that someone had sat me down all of those years ago and said, Jen, this and this and this and this and this is not going to work. You need to create a calorie deficit for your weight loss, and then you can actually start experiencing success. And when I went down that path, the whole time I was like kicking myself, thinking, why did I just not do this sooner? Like, I wasted so much time trying all of these random things in order to create that calorie deficit instead of actually working out my numbers. So I do believe, like I said, and I have mentioned this earlier, is that we way overcomplicate this process of creating a calorie deficit and working out how many calories we need to eat for weight loss. Okay, because that's what it is. How many calories do I need to eat for weight loss is creating a calorie deficit. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do. And we do overly complicated. And I honestly believe that, I was the same too, because I remember when I first sort of looked into like trying to lose weight and the numbers and all this kind of stuff, and I found all these things online, or like I was following people on social media and I'm like, what? We've got to take my weight and calculate it times this and then divide that by 27 and then times it by this. And I just looked at it and honestly, and I'm sure for you too, I just was like, yep, too hard. I can't do that. Deal with that later. Pushed it to the side and then just kept going with my bad habits and then decided again to try it later on. Like every time I looked at it, it just seemed too overwhelming, too complicated. And so I just kind of kept pushing, working out a calorie deficit to the side and not doing it properly. Now, what I have found in my own personal experience, like I said, we do way overcomplicate it, but I have found and I have created a simple 2-step process to work out how many calories you need to eat for weight loss, which is therefore your calorie deficit for weight loss. A 2-step process. And it is proven. Now, I can't go into this fully completely because this is what my Healthy Eating Hype Gal members get exclusively in the membership. So within 7 days when they join, they get this 2-step process to work out their calorie deficit to work out how many calories they need for weight loss. And there's no fancy calculations. There's no timesing and dividing and like working out all of these numbers and then having to change it to maintenance. And it's literally 2 steps. Do this one thing, we'll look at this, and then you'll have your calorie deficit and how many calories that you need for weight loss. It does get to be this easy. And the thing as well too is that when you do actually work out how many calories you need for weight loss and you work out how much food you're eating, where your calories are coming from, like I said, the women in the membership, like no one after their first 7 days in the membership says, oh, well, right, like I knew exactly what I was eating and I had worked out my calorie deficit properly. Not one. They've all said, oh, wow, like I've learned so much from this. And the reason that they do learn so much from this and they have all of these aha moments about where they have been going wrong in the first 7 days is because they went about working out how many calories they need to eat for weight loss in the right way. Okay, so in that 7 days, all they were focusing on is themselves. Is their food, is their calories, is working out how many calories. They focused on themselves. And that's where that clarity and those big aha moments that you are so desperately wanting come from. It's when you switch your focus to, like I said, you can jump on social media and you can find depending on what your particular physique is in a woman, like that you prefer, you might prefer like a particularly very skinny looking woman, or you might like someone who's a little bit more athletic, that's got, a little bit of shape and tone and things like that. So you can find your ideal woman, that their physique on social media or on the internet or through Google and go, yep, I want to have a body like that, and copy what they eat in a day on a plate and do that for 3 months, for 6 months, for 12 months. And even if all of that food is healthy and nourishing and amazing and really, really good and you feel good, the chances of you losing weight are still like really slim because it's not a calorie deficit. It's not the calories that you need in particular for weight loss. And that's why, like I said, in the membership, that's why the women in that first 7 days get those massive aha moments and that massive amount of clarity because they're just focusing on themselves. They've shut out all of the outside noise and they're just going, what do I need to eat for me to lose weight? What is my calorie deficit? What do I need to do? And that's the massive shift that I made. And that's the massive shift that we need to make as women. And like I said, girlfriend to girlfriend, I truly wish someone had sat down and put me in front of them and said, listen up, Jen, stop doing all these other things because you are literally just banging your head against a wall and just like, when you just throw something and like throwing mud at a wall and hoping that it's going to stick. That's literally what you're doing when you're trying all of these random things to lose weight. There is a scientific method, and that is working out how many calories you need for weight loss to create a calorie deficit. Like that's it. It's so simple. And like I said, wish someone had sat me down and told me sooner. Are you ready to step into a vibrant community of health-conscious women where your journey to helping feel easy begins? Welcome to the Healthy Eating Hype Gal community, your ultimate destination for mastering your relationship with food and embracing a healthy lifestyle. As a busy working mum who's lost 10 kilos, I've been through it all and I understand the struggle. That's why I'm here to teach you the exact steps and tools I use to lose weight, conquer my mindset and thrive, all while juggling the demands of everyday life. Say goodbye to no more confusing fad diets or overwhelming nutrition advice. In this community, I'll guide you through the maze of weight loss and healthy eating and explain it to you in a way that finally makes sense. From easy, family-friendly meal plans to my exclusive calorie deficit quick guide, monthly masterclasses, plus so much more, so you can finally make healthy eating an achievable lifestyle without restriction. It's time to ditch the confusion and overwhelm for good. Join today and kickstart your journey to a healthier, happier you. There's no perfect time to start. Let's make your wellness dreams a reality. Now, on this topic as well too, I really want you to truly understand. So we've sort of covered the fact that you have to have a calorie deficit, you have to focus on yourself, and you have to work out how many calories you need to eat for weight loss. Not the person at work, not your next door neighbor, not your bestie. And that is something that I really want to stress through today's episode with you, is that you will lose weight on different calories to the women that are around you. Okay. We all lose weight on different amounts of calories, and it's depending on like our dieting history. Like if you're someone that's, been a constant yo-yo dieter or constantly like under eating or overeating, or your age, it's our metabolism, it's our exercise levels. There are so many little tiny micro factors that go into how many calories a woman will need in order to lose weight. So it's just really important that you understand that every single woman is different. So that's why it's often not a good idea to engage with or to sort of get drawn into looking on social media and things like that about the number of calories that other women are eating, because that is not your key to success. Okay. You can have your best friend from work and, she's just lost 5 or 10 kilos and she was eating 1,800 calories a day. That's her calorie deficit for her body, which is why it worked. Does that make sense? Like, I really want to stress that to you. So the unfortunate thing is like, and then you have another woman, okay? Someone else is like, we've got some women in the membership that are on like 2,000 plus calories and they're still losing weight. Again, there are so many factors that go into that. And then we've also got, like you have other women too, and this may be your cousin or a friend or something, and she's having to eat like 1,600 calories in order to reach her calorie deficit. So it's really, really important that you understand that how many calories you need to eat for weight loss is personal to you, okay? And that's why the things that you've tried in the past haven't worked, because you haven't worked out your calorie deficit that's right for you. And when you do that, that's when you start to experience success. Now, I'm not saying that, it's going to be this perfectly easy process, because obviously then once you've got your right numbers, you then have to show up and do the work. And you then have to show up on the hard days and show up on the days when you can't be bothered and show up on the days when work is busy and life is throwing all of this stuff at you. You obviously then still have to put in the work. But the key difference is when you work it out correctly is you feel confident. You feel confident because you know that what you're doing is actually going to lead you to success, instead of trying keto, trying intermittent fasting, skipping breakfast in the hope and crossing your fingers that doing that might create the number of calories that you need to eat for weight loss. So when you work out your numbers correctly and you do it the right way, you feel confident because you know then that the effort that you're putting in, eventually over time, it is going to pay off. And truly, that clarity is like the best feeling ever, because it's like, for the longest time, you spend all this time sort of walking around in the dark. You sort of walk around in the dark as a woman, like just kind of floundering around and trying different things. And like I said, throwing the mud at the wall and hoping it'll stick and trying different things. And then when you realize that this is the system that you need for success, you go about it the right way, you work it out the right way, and you start to experience wins. And in my experience, and for the hundreds of women that I've worked with, we just need to experience success. And that's a lot of the time why our efforts will fail, because we just can't seem to get a win. And when you start experiencing wins and your clothes start feeling looser and the scales start slowly moving down and your skin feels brighter and you have more energy and you start to have these wins and notice these changes, what happens is you're motivated. You go, okay, I like this. I like how this feels. I want this to continue. I want to stay feeling like this. And so you continue to show up for yourself. You continue to try and you continue to work towards your goals. So I really hope that in today's episode, it's like I said, it was girlfriend to girlfriend. This was not scripted. I had no notes. I just wanted to be super honest and real and raw with you so that you can stop wasting your time on all of the things that don't work. Like I said, so just to recap, you need to focus on yourself. Okay. Someone else's calorie deficit is not going to be the same as yours. You have to focus on what you're eating, how much food you eat, and you need to focus on the calorie deficit and how much food you need to eat for weight loss, the right amount that's right for you, because what someone else is eating is not going to suit you. So my big thing is like, why would you waste your time? Why would you keep doing all these things and try for another year or another 5 years and still be stuck in the same cycle when you can go about it the right way, work out your calories, how many you need to eat for weight loss, follow your calorie deficit and actually start experiencing those wins? Because when you do, it's the best feeling ever and you just won't want to go back. Like I said, if you do want access to my exclusive 2-step proven calorie deficit, how many calories you need to eat for weight loss method, you can find that in the Healthy Eating Hype Gal membership. That's my monthly membership. And we've had so many women in there that have tried all the diets, all the things, all the challenges, like 75 hard, all of the different things, and are finally experiencing success and getting that clarity and that confidence to move forward. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Healthy Her podcast. I'm so truly grateful for all of your support and this amazing community, and I'll see you all in our next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram @TheActiveBod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.